I'm really stressed. I'm really stressed about tonight's game against Sheffield United. I'm being deadly serious. I'm not doing this whole, what's it called? Like, protect myself in case things go wrong. And then I said I was stressed. I said it was a big game. It's nothing to do with that. I'm legitimately worried about the game tonight. And I've had a really big think why. Because Arsenal have just won 6 games in a row in the Premier League. They're scoring goals galore, 5 against Burnley, 5 against Palace, 4 against Newcastle. We smashed Liverpool 3-1 and utterly deserved those 3 points. We are on fire in the Premier League in 2024, and we're coming up against a team whose stats and rankings in the league are 20th for position. They've scored the least goals in the league, they've conceded the most, and in 5 separate games, they've conceded 5 goals in those games. Sheffield United have been battered in so many games this season and have been largely uncompetitive, and yet I am worried. Everything points towards an Arsenal win, and yet I'm worried. So I want to explore this properly. Why? Why do I feel this way? And I think I've come to 3 reasons that I know some of you Arsenal fans will be feeling as well. I know some of you will be listening to me right now and going, James, this is just you. You're the only one who's stressed. We're fine. But others of you are going, yep, I've been an Arsenal fan a while. I know exactly what you're talking about, James. So let me explore the 3 reasons. Let me just give you kind of as a blanket statement the 3 reasons, and then we'll explore them. Firstly, that City and Liverpool make you feel like you can't drop points. I think that's a big thing. Secondly, that all Premier League sides can give you a game on their day. I think that's part of the reasons why I've got a bit of nerves going into this game. Monday night, Bramall Lane, you just never know. And thirdly, that Arsenal have an ability to fall apart when least expected. Arsenal let me down a few times over the years, and there's no denial they've got over the line as well. But yeah, that's a part of it. So let me go through it. Let me start with number 1, the fact that City and Liverpool make you feel like you can't drop points, and exactly what I mean by that. Well, I've put together a graphic that is actually a little complex, and it's not that complex, but I might have overcomplicated the way I'm explaining it. So let me just put it all into context before I show you the numbers. What I did was City and Liverpool have been a part of 3 title races. City in 3 of them, Liverpool in 2 of them. But they've gone head-to-head in 2 of them, and City's last one was last season against Arsenal. City have come out on top in every single one, may I say. But what you've got there is City in a title race last season, and then in 2 previous ones. So that's 3, and then Liverpool in 2. So that's 5 sort of title races. Do you get how I frame that up? So what I've got is their last 10 results from those 5 title races, and I've combined them to show you the rate and results of which they move and operate when it gets to crunch time in the season. So here are the numbers. In 50 games, so their last 10 games across those 5 title races, those 2 teams combined, City and Liverpool, have won 44 games, drawn 6, and not lost a single one. Unbelievable. The way Jurgen Klopp and Guardiola have their clubs really lock in when it comes to a title race is phenomenal. And this is this right here is the reason why we stress going into a title race with these 2, because they lock in, they get serious, they build momentum, they find a wave, and they ride it. My word, do they ride it. And this is what Arsenal have to compete with. This is why putting 6 wins in a row and maybe drawing against Sheffield United and actually going, okay, well, 6 wins and a draw in 7 isn't bad. Well, no, it is, because they're operating at even better levels. And that is what's so staggering about going up against City and Liverpool. And I want to add that context. I want to try and quantify why we have a fear, because I think we all know that it's difficult keeping up, but I just wanted to put it into numbers how impressive City and Liverpool can be when it comes to a title race. That's partly part of my nerves going into a game where you just feel like you can't slip up even one bit, no matter how good you've been. Secondly is that all sides can give you a real game. I've mentioned that. What I've got here is some of Sheffield United's results this season. I've mentioned how bad they look statistically at a surface level. But let me give you some results where, listen, they've lost a lot of these games, but they've been competitive. It took City a very last-minute goal to beat Sheffield United earlier in the season. It took Tottenham 2 goals in injury time from the 97th and 99th minute to beat Sheffield United. Brighton were held to a draw at home to Sheffield United. Liverpool only won their 2-0. A very late goal from Szoboszlai sealed the points. Villa were held to a draw as well. City were made to work hard in a 2-0 win. And Luton as well. Difficult place to go, but Sheffield United went and won it 3-1. So that tells you that Sheffield have been somewhat competitive, and they have games where they can lock in, execute a plan, and be very difficult to break down and beat. And I think Arsenal have to be wary of that. Now, the third thing is that Arsenal have an ability to fall apart when least expected, like I mentioned. And I just want to go through just some of my dark memories as an Arsenal fan. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to upset any of you. I'm not trying to sort of dig up the negativity, but I'm just trying to be really frank and honest about why some of us might be feeling nerves going to this game. From being 3-1 down at home to Southampton in a title race, we'd just blown 2-0 leads at West Ham and Liverpool. You got Southampton at home, you're thinking, okay, lock in, get a win back. And we end up drawing that game 3-3. 3 defeats in a row when we were chasing the Champions League spots. We were in a great run of form, and then suddenly Palace, Brighton, Southampton come around, and we lose all 3 of them in a row and completely lose ground on this race, and you don't really understand how. To being knocked out of the Europa League by Olympiacos and many others, we know that Arsenal have fallen short at that hurdle in many occasions. You're thinking, how have we not got beyond here? Knocked out by Olympiacos, the Bradford defeat on penalties, the 2-1 Carling Cup defeat to Birmingham, the 4-4 with Newcastle from 4-0 up, the Champions League final. There's been so many where I've looked at Arsenal and gone, how have we lost it from this position? How is this the hurdle that we're falling? Champions League's a bit hard, right? Harsh. We were against Barcelona down to 10 men. But you get my point. Like, there have been some dark days as Arsenal fans. And look, perspective is needed. This is an Arsenal channel, but there might be some fans who aren't Arsenal fans watching this and going, my word, James, you've really never had a hard day as an Arsenal fan, because there are clubs who might not even exist in a few years. And there are clubs who, have never sniffed silverware in their life. And I've seen 4 FA Cups in the time I've been supporting Arsenal. I get it. Like, perspective is needed. But generally, there's something about Arsenal where you feel like you're riding a wave up to a particular point, and then it can come crashing down. You don't really know why. Now, I've said all that, but let me put it to a side for a second and actually start to turn this into a little bit of a positive and try and change our mentality and our narrative and the way we're looking at this a little bit. Because there's something about us as fans that I think is very powerful. There's something about us as fans and belief that I think is really important in all this. I've said everything. I've given you all my reasons why I might be nervous. I've tried to articulate as best as possible. I think some of you might feel the same way. But I think we need to change our mentality. Not everyone, but those who are having those nerves going to a game like Sheffield United away or Burnley away the other week as well, where I said we'd narrowly win. We need to start changing our mentality into one of confidence and belief, and we're going to do this. Because when I hear the way Arteta and Declan Rice and other players, Bukayo Saka and others are speaking in this title race, they believe they can do it. They really believe they can do it. And I don't think they're going up to Sheffield United worried. I think they're going up there focused, respecting of Sheffield United, with a plan, and knowing that they're going to have to be really on it and utterly focused and prepared for what's to come. But are they worried? No, I think they're ready. I think they're embracing this. And I think as fans, we need to as well. I do believe that we can transmit belief. I do believe if we talk in a certain way, and to a degree, fake it till you make it, you start to change the environment and the perspective and the expectations. Now, some people, credit to them, absolutely have. From day one, it's we belong in a title race, we should be in there, and I'm confident that we can. But for other people, it's still like, oh, can we really do it? Can we get over the line? And I'm one of those fans that has to change that a little bit, is actually start going, no, we can do it. Now, I said at the beginning of the season we'd win the title. I've changed my mind slightly on that, but I had the belief that we could, and we could get over the line. But I'm talking game to game. That belief that Liverpool and City fans have going into games, Sheffield United away, 3 points, we're going to do it. That's how they look at it. And they're not that worried. They're thinking about that next big game after that, but whilst also respecting what's in front of them. And I think to a degree, we need to start having that expectation of, yeah, we can do it. We're going to make it 7 in a row and we're going to cruise through. Because, not cruise through, you've got to respect Sheffield United. But it's that, do you get what I mean by that mentality shift and that mentality change? We need to almost start not fearing these kind of games and going, yeah, we should do it, I expect to do it, and we're going to do it. And I do think that the language you use and the way we talk and the expectations we have are going to fuel energy and confidence in this title race. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I'm talking about a little bit of a mentality shift here, and I think that we as fans can drive that. So with that in mind, in the spirit of all that, I want to put my nerves to one side. I went on Forever Arsenal with a 2-1 or 1-0 prediction, I think, for Arsenal to win it. I'm going to change that to a 3-0. I want to back Arsenal to go and get the job done, to go and flex their muscles, play the football they've been playing, put Sheffield United to the sword, as they have been by many clubs recently, and yeah, show once more that we belong in this title race, get some more goals, and be a really, really convincing side that belong in this title race. I think Arsenal can do it. Let me know in the comments below if you think they can. Let me know if you agree with what I've been saying about this kind of fear that we carry when it feels like we really shouldn't, but why that is. And yeah, let me know how confident you're feeling about Arsenal maintaining this between now and the end of the season. And I just want to say a really big thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, actually hit the links right here to watch more content like this, including my Football First podcast, which drops every Monday to Friday at 6 AM. And I know it's annoying, I am really sorry to have to ask, but if you want to show support to the channel, hitting the like and subscribe buttons help promote the content much more than you could possibly know. Thanks again.